Good morning, how are we doing? So the great thing about being disappointed, that sounds odd, but if you're coming in, give me a hello below, drop a replay below, just about to head off for our morning sessions. So the great thing about being disappointed, I had a question or chat yesterday with someone who mentioned, oh yeah, it was disappointing, didn't quite get round to doing X, Y, and Z like I wanted to do, and kind of beating themselves up. And often it's like, and people go into that space of, I shouldn't be beating myself up. No, well, I'm beating myself up anyway, and I shouldn't. We're beating ourselves up for beating ourselves up. When actually you could flip this and go, isn't it a good thing that you're disappointed? Because imagine if you weren't. What's the opposite of disappointment? Being happy. And I can guarantee that if you look at athletes, sports people who have failed many times, people who have failed many job interviews multiple times, I can imagine that the disappointment of not getting it, hopefully, in many occasions, actually led them to get better and led them to do something else today. And actually, maybe it's a good thing that we're disappointed that we want to be healthier, that we want to be fitter, because there's a lot of motivation there. Because the opposite of that is potentially going, oh, I just can't really be bothered. I'm not really bothered about it. Doesn't really matter, and that's fine too. But we've got to look at the other side of this. Because as I spoke about yesterday, I can't think of how many job interviews and interviews for PhDs I went for back when, years ago. And it was like, I know, not even an interview, no, go. And I'd go to one, then be like halfway in, go, why have I just spent half the interview so nervous and like not really being me? And then afterwards I'd go, oh, I'm disappointed that I spent the whole first half of that interview just worrying about being nervous. I didn't even answer any of the questions properly. And then I'm disappointed. But guess what? That disappointment meant that I learned and I practiced. I didn't want that to happen ever again. So what if it's a good thing? Just a quick one today, that if you are a bit disappointed with something, rather than dwell on the disappointment and beating yourself up on whether you should or not, just ask these two questions. What still worked well? What worked well? Number two, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently next time? There's always a lesson in there. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I will see you soon. They're not lemons, by the way. They look a bit like a lemon tree going on. Anyway, I will see you later. Take care.